This morning we are going to be sharing from God's word to us through the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah in chapter 17 has issued another warning to the people of God. They hadn't listened and they were now hell-bent on a course of action, not only of rejection from God, because they're rejecting him, but they are hell-bent on a course of action because they've filled their cisterns with their own water, which is poisonous. And they've done so because in their turning back on God, or whichever way round it worked in their heart attitude, they are moving back from a place of reliance on God to self. The complete antithesis of the gospel. And Jeremiah has uttered a word that he's going to be ridiculed for because it hasn't yet happened. And Jesus this week from Lent 2 speaking to us, yes, including his resurrection, it hadn't in the order of events completely happened in a way that the disciples could see it and participate in, but they would come to. And Jeremiah's word will come true too. Sometimes we wait for fulfillment. And Jeremiah speaks on behalf of God. Cursed is the man who trusts in man. Trust. Trust is part of what we might call the faith package. Peace with God. Faith, resting. And the devil and circumstances, he will do his damnness to move us away from trust in God, often to trust in ourselves. See, life experience deals us blows. And from time to time, we all suffer the temptation of, well, that's not going to happen to me again, so I'll fix it. I'll make sure it doesn't happen to me, and I'll put up my prickles like a porcupine under attack. And we migrate back into self rather than to reach out and put our hand into the one who holds our life, our death, and the whole of our eternal destiny. So in Jeremiah 17 verse 5 to 10, let's look at some of the characteristics of God. He's all-knowing. All-knowing. He knows. And he's all-loving. And he's all-powerful. And he's creator. Now, if that is true, and that's what we must consider about God, if that is true of how Jesus has presented himself to us, then it is, as it were, fitting for us, for us personally and us as his church to continue to put our hand into the hand of the living God. No other person, however trustworthy, no other thing, however tempting, can take the place of our trust in God. So, when we're tempted away, trust in the Lord with all your heart. How do you do that? Seek him for it. Say, Lord, I trust you. And there are those in the church who every day pray a very simple prayer. Jesus, I trust you. Sometimes with great joy, sometimes with a smile on their face, sometimes with tears, sometimes with anxiety. But trust trumps them all. May God give you this grace from his faith for you, that you and I, in this week of Lent, let go of false trust, false security, and embrace his.